Welcome to the woods. No politics, no social commentary, well, not much. Going to build a mini cabin, and we're going to build it because I started off one in a workshop, and then I thought I'm going to need somewhere where I can make a brew, somewhere to sit down and chill out for a bit that wasn't in the cabin. And the reason for that is the work I've got to do involves a lot of sanding. I'm making the handles for some knives. I've got the blades done. Can't really do the sanding inside. So I want to have the tools I need and the sander in a workshop. But I want it to be comfortable. It's got to have electric light, some running water, somewhere I can put the kettle on. So I did a sketch of the sort of thing I wanted, which was something like this, which would look quite nice in the woods, similar to a shepherd's hut, a woodsman's hut. And then I priced it up at the timber yard and had a mild heart attack. And then I thought, how am I going to do this? Because I don't want to spend more than £1,000. So I looked around at pre-built stuff, and even for a sort of 8 foot by 10 foot shed was £700–800, and they weren't really up to scratch, didn't have what I wanted. So I came up with an idea. And if you follow me on these videos, there's going to be about 5. I reckon it's going to take 5 weeks. I'll do it a bit at a time, and we can shoot a video each time. And you can see what it turns out like. Hopefully, at the end of it, it will look a bit like my sketch. Apex roof, leaded glass windows, timber. So let's have a look, and hopefully it'll come in at less than 1,000, which would be handy. And this is something you can copy. So this is what we're going to start. One ugly plastic caravan. But it has got a nice seating area, so I can enjoy a brew. It's got plenty of storage, cupboards everywhere. All of this plastic's going to be ripped out, replaced with timber. So a nice bit of joinery coming up. A grill, boiler kettle. Make a bacon sandwich. I've even got a little oven down here. And over here, this is where the workbench is going to go. So we're going to have a 6 foot by 4 foot workbench in there, with an extractor fan going out that end window. Seating area this side that I'll probably keep so I can sit down and work at an angled bench. Nice bit of natural light both sides. It's also got a hinged cupboard that drops down, and that'll be quite handy because I can it just pulls down to about halfway, so I can put all my tools and that in there. We've also got a toilet and a wash basin, which may come in handy, who knows. Even got a shower. So as much as these things are modern and ugly, it is a good base, because I can rip all these cupboards out, remake them with hardwood or pine, and on the outside we're going to use 2x3 CLS timbers, which are 8 foot long, and larch feather edge, and we're going to use both of those because they're mass produced and they're cheap. The CLS, the 8 foot lengths are about £4, so we'll have 2 in each corner, then we'll box the windows, and then we'll clad it with the larch. I've also got 4 or 5 of these 200-year-old leaded glass panels. Now, they were pulled out of an old chapel about 7 years ago when I was building the cabin, and I used some on the internal wall between the dining room and the lounge, and kept the rest because I knew they would come in handy. So we're going to take this naff 1980s plastic caravan, we're going to clad it in larch, we're going to build a workshop, or we're going to build a work area, we're going to redo all the internals, and we're going to have something that's got electrics, plumbing, that looks the part, for under £1,000. Now, you see, I wanted a workshop and somewhere to sit. Someone else might be thinking, I'm looking more for somewhere to live. Now, that one's not big enough, but there's plenty of caravans for sale. Now, when I put that 3-inch CLS on the outside, I've used the 3-inch because I can buy 3-inch rock wool loft insulation, which can go on the outside, and then it can be a breather membrane before you put the larch on, which should massively increase the insulation on the caravan. Now, I'll be doing that, and I'll show you how to do it, how to fix it. It's not rocket science, pretty much what I did with the cabin, just on a smaller scale. So over the next 5 weeks, we're going to go on a little journey, and we'll see how it turns out. Wish me luck. Come on the trip with me. If you've got any ideas, let me know. Now, in there, it's all rigged up for bottled gas, which is handy for the cooker and whatever. There's also a gas heater. Now, I'm in two minds whether to leave that in there, because I'm not going to be living in it. I'm just going to be working in there, making the knife handles. If I was going to be spending more time in there, I would rip that out and put a log burner in. I may end up doing that anyway. If I do, again, that'll be another thing we can do together, and you can see how that's done. But I can pick up a small log burner that'll fit in the caravan for probably £100. But this is the view from the caravan. It's not bad, is it? See, there's the bad boy over there, the plastic pig. Now all we've got to do is make it beautiful. You see, the thing with modernity in general is that they've taken stuff like a shepherd's hut that was aesthetically pleasing and served a purpose, and then added new technology like the plumbing and the heating and the electric light, which are handy, but they've also made it ugly and aesthetically unpleasing. And we can see that in every day around us. Just look at houses. There's a housing estate not too far from here, probably 10 minutes. Every house looks the same. Every road on that estate looks the same. Postage stamp gardens. The same bricks, the same shape. Ugly. And they expect the people inside to reflect that. And sometimes they do, they become the same. And if you contrast that with the road that runs from the local village to the local town, which is about 1.5 miles, 2 miles long, and every house is different. You have big manor houses, small cottages, brick built houses, stone built houses, and every one reflects the person who built it, and to some extent the person who lives within it. And that's how things should be. You should be able to express yourself, and things don't have to be ugly. So what we're going to do here is take something modern and ugly and turn it back into what it should be. But we're going to keep the things we can take. We're going to keep the electrics, we'll keep the plumbing, and we may even keep the gas. But the rest of it, let's make it ours. Anyway, you lot, if you've got any ideas, drop them in the comments below. I may very well use them. And I hope you're looking forward to the next 5 weeks. The next video, I should have the back half clad, the hinges done for the leaded windows, and we can get on with a bit of work on the outside. Speak to you later, you lot. Have a good one.